Hey Jess, it's Friday. So there are two buzzwords that we cannot escape from right now, and that is ISIS and Ebola. And the media is using both of them to really put a scare into everyone, and some of which is warranted. I mean, they both seem to have been created for one reason, and that is to kill us. Now, if you haven't seen my video on ISIS and the beginnings of the civil war in Iraq, then you can view that here. But right now, I want to focus on the other killer threat, or so the news would have you believe. The question is, do we really need to be afraid of the Ebola virus? Well, if we live in West Africa, then yes. But the people here in the US are really getting nervous about the Ebola virus, mostly because they hear the term outbreak, they know there isn't a specific cure, and that it can also be deadly. But let's pump the brakes a little bit on the term outbreak, and let's shine a light on Ebola and what it truly is. First off, it's highly unlikely that Ebola will become a major outbreak here in the US because it's not easily transmitted. You actually have to come in contact with fluids from someone who has been infected. Now, I don't know about you, but I rarely come in contact with fluids from even the most perfectly healthy people. Also, a person isn't even contagious unless they're already showing signs of fever or nausea. Consider this, the man who was traveling back from Dallas who had the infection. Everyone was worried about all of the passengers on the plane, and then they were worried about his family, especially those that live in the same house, that they would all become sick, and still, no. So the virus is difficult to transmit, so what are we all worried about? We're all scared because the idea of it plays on our worst fears. I mean, there's little known about it. There's a high fatality rate of something like 50%, and it requires people to become quarantined because there's no known cure. The flu is more contagious than Ebola, or measles. Measles can be transmitted to up to like 18 people. Ebola is more around 2. Still, we have visions like this that get stuck in our head. And look, if you work in West Africa where you don't have the necessary supplies, education, or infrastructure to handle an outbreak, and where the smallest abrasion to your skin could be all the virus needs to get in and kill you, then yes, you should walk around in a hazmat suit. But here in the US, we are far more equipped to handle something like this. So the bottom line is this: you cannot contract Ebola by simply being on the same plane or being in the same house or even sitting at the same table as someone with the virus. There's absolutely no chance that this is going to live up to the term outbreak. So let's just take it easy. Don't let the media dictate our fears to us, and simply seek to understand. Jess, I'll see you on Monday.